Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is Sandra. Yeah, yeah. Before I speak, yeah, I just want to say that please subscribe to my channel. Mm, Please subscribe to my channel because I do videos all the time. Yeah, sometimes 3 times a week or twice a week. So if you subscribe to my channel, then you can see all the videos I'm doing. Yeah. So please just subscribe to my channel so that you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, all the motivation videos I'm giving. Just go on Sandra Yaa YouTube.com. Yeah, Sandra Yaa YouTube.com. And you see me there. Yeah. Today I'm going to talk about why is it that London is so expensive to live. To be honest, why is London so expensive to live in? London is very expensive. I've been living in London for a long time and still I've don't see no changes. Yeah, London is so expensive. Every year things goes up. Mortgages prices goes up. How renting prices goes up. Groceries goes up. Everything goes up in London. And I don't understand it. Yeah, everything is up all the time. You know, every year prices goes up. And it's very difficult living in London. It's very expensive, very, very expensive living in London. Let's talk about the rents. Renting a property or paying a mortgage. Renting a property, I would say that you have a choice, isn't it? Yeah, you have a choice to rent because, like, you can either, if you're a single person, you can either rent a share accommodation, isn't it? That you can share with someone. There you pay cheaper rent. But how about somebody with two children or one child? You can't go and share, you can't go and stay in a rental accommodation. And maybe the job that you are doing is not big, it's not, the wages is not high enough to get a mortgage. So it's a catch 20 for this one, isn't it? Yeah, because it's like you see people complaining all the time. Yeah, people go and rent places and the rent is so high in London. But I have friends in outside London who say their place outside London is very cheap. Somewhere like Bradford is very cheap. You can even get a house and pay a mortgage of £300 a month. Could you imagine? £300. When I heard, I said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yes, you can get a place and rent for, and you can get a place to buy, and you pay a mortgage of £300, £300 a month." And that was about 2 years ago, this friend told me. And I'm sure it's still the same, even if it has gone up. Even if you are paying mortgage £500 a month and you are in outside London, it's not bad, isn't it? But in London here, I don't think anybody can pay mortgage for £500 a month. No, you have to pay more. Even if it's a studio flat, you still have to pay more. So things in London is so expensive. Now people are moving to outside London a lot. A lot of people are moving. A lot of people that I know have moved to outside London, and they are saying that it's cheaper there. It's cheaper living in outside London. Just the outside London, you will not enjoy it that much. That the socializing side. There's not, every place is quiet. You don't see too much socializing in outside London. Maybe one or two things, like pubs and the rest. But everybody wants to live in London, innit? Because London is the city that you can go places that you want, you can do things that you want, all the clubs and all the bars, yeah, and other places that you want to go, they are there, innit? Yeah, so that's why people choose the city, because when you are in the city, you can see a lot of things, yeah. But what's the name? Staying outside London, but if you want to save money, if you are somebody who wants quiet life, you need quiet life, then you can go and move, you can move to outside London. But at the end of the day, you have to think about the money that you are going to save as well. Outside London is cheaper. People have moved there all the time, and they are happy. I mean, you can always come to London and do one or two things that you want to do and go back, and you pay rent. The rent outside London is cheaper, the mortgage there is cheaper. So I don't know why the mortgage in London is so expensive. Right now to buy two-bedroom property, you are thinking about 250,000 or even 300,000. It depends on what you want in it. Yeah, so it's expensive in London. Especially if you find yourself going to Greenwich area. Oh my God, that area is so expensive. I don't know why. They even call it London. They call it itself, Greenwich itself, they call it London. Yeah, so I don't know why that area is so expensive. And let's even put the housing and the things aside. The council tax is also another problem. Every borough has got the council tax they pay, and the council tax also pull you up, because it costs you a lot of money. So if you are a single person living in London, without children or anything, I think for you to earn about £2,000 a month, that can keep you going. But how about a family of four or family of three? That's another story. You have to earn more. You understand what I mean? Yeah, so it's expensive, and even going to do the shopping, grocery shopping is another one. I mean, we thank God that now they brought shops like Lidl and Aldi, you know, which are cheaper, because when you go and do shopping in Lidl, £30 shopping, £30 shopping, sorry, £30 shopping, you get a lot of things to buy. How about more £50 shopping? You get a lot of things to buy. But when you go somewhere like Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda, so many shops, you understand what I mean? The things there are so expensive. The things there are so expensive, which I don't understand. Our own shops in London is expensive, rather the foreign shops are cheaper. When you go to if you go to Aldi, I'm telling you, you do shopping, and by the time the basket is full, but when they after the cashier has done everything, they will tell you £60, £70. But when you do shopping in Sainsbury's and Tesco's, you end up with £150, £200. And I said to myself, but it's the same item, so why is it that they are so expensive and these shops are not expensive? Is it because of the name? Yeah, so groceries you have to shop around, to be honest. Now people are going to Lidl. Before, when Lidl came and Aldi came, even there was another one called Netto. People didn't want to go and shop there. They said, oh, their things are too cheap and the rest. People, when things are cheaper, they don't want to know. They want expensive things. But when they will realize that it's the same. It's the same thing that is in Sainsbury's, the same thing that is in Tesco, it's the same that is in Aldi and Lidl. So now people have become more wiser that they are shopping there. If these shops were not here, there's no cheaper shops. Iceland is not bad as well. Iceland, yeah, things are £1, £1. It's not bad as well. So you can shop around. You don't need to shop as much because it's the same things, it's the same items. I don't see any difference. You understand? Why? Just the name that is changed. So that's how it is. London is expensive, but if you shop around, you get cheaper things. You get cheaper accommodation. Just that everything that is cheap, especially accommodation. If you get cheaper accommodation, there must be some problems, because I mean, if you are lucky and you have housing association or council property, yeah, that one is cheaper. You understand what I mean? But I know some people who have told me they got children, but the council are not giving them a place to stay because they said the council houses is finished, isn't it? The council flats is finished. So if you have children, you have to go and rent a private accommodation. And the private accommodation is not cheap. It's not cheap at all, because it's somebody who has built their house or bought their house and they are giving it for rent, isn't it? So it's very expensive. You pay, you pay. So if you don't earn much, then you're always counting your pennies, which is very hard, So London, I mean, London is expensive, but you can shop around, and look for some prices that are reasonable. Or if you are a couple and you're all working, it's cheaper as well because both of you are paying each, in it. Both of you are paying, so that it will be cheaper. But if you are a single person, then if your wages is not much, you have to work hard to get money and live happy life in London, because it's expensive, council tax, groceries, clothes, shoes, etc. and etc. So it's not easy to live in London at all. Yeah, but people who live in outside London, they tell me that they're enjoying their time there because it's cheaper. The rent, the houses, the mortgages, they're all cheaper there. Even the shopping and the rest, they're all cheaper. So people are moving out now, to be honest. People are moving out, because enough is enough. People are now moving to outside London. Yeah. And that's like everybody wants somewhere that they can save money, not somewhere that they're always spending. Otherwise, it's too much. You don't get even you not be able to save if you are in London. Yeah, if you live in London, it will be hard for you to say you are putting money down to save for your savings, because the moment you put the money down, you go and take it again because another bill will come. Electricity bill will come. You have to go and pay. Gas, you have to go and pay. Council tax, you have to go and pay. Water bill, you have to go and pay. So it's like it's too much. But somebody somewhere, let's say people that back home, they think when you live in London or you live in UK, you are living in a luxury place. No, it's not. It's not. It's not at all. There's a lot going on. So if your choice, if you want to move to outside London, I think to be a good decision if you want to move to outside London, because outside London you find things cheaper there. Yeah, you find things cheaper there than London. You understand what I mean? Yeah, because some time ago I wanted to move to outside London, but I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, because it's a big decision to make. You cannot just pack your bags that, oh, I've had enough here, so I'm moving to London. I'm moving to outside London. That is something that is in my plans. That in future that's what I will do, because outside London is cheaper. Outside London is quieter. You have a quiet life there. Yeah. And if you want to come to London, you just drive. You just drive to London, come and do whatever you want to do, and go back again. Yeah. So that's what I want to say today. That I mean, living in London is very expensive, but you can shop around in it. Shop around and see which places, which things are cheaper. Compare the shops. Compare the house prices, mortgage prices, and see which one is cheaper for you to live in. You understand what I mean? Yeah. You don't need to spend unnecessarily on things, because if you feel like you can go to Lidl and shop, why go to Sainsbury's and go and do shopping that are only 5 items? Then it's about £50. Especially those ones, those express shops. Oh my God, Tesco Express, Sainsbury's Express. You go there, you buy 5 items, then they say £20. You buy 6 items, they say £50. So you are not saving money. You are not saving money at all. So we should try and minimize our financial things, by looking at where it's cheaper. You understand what I mean? Because if you go to Lidl, what they have there is the same thing they have in Sainsbury's. Maybe the name is different. The same thing if you go to Aldi, and it's fine. And you save money. Yeah. You save money and the rest. So we should try and think twice. That we should not shop unnecessarily, especially Waitrose. Waitrose is the worst one. It's so expensive there. Yeah. So that's how it is. So that's the little something I would say that, yeah, London is very expensive, but we can be wiser in it. Yeah, London is very expensive, but if you shop around, you get cheaper things to buy. If you feel like it's outside London you want to move to, then yeah, you got the choice, in it. Yeah, because outside London things are very, very cheap there. But if you are somebody who likes going out a lot, socializing a lot, then unfortunately you may have to stay in London, in it, because outside London there's not much socializing there. You see one or two pubs open there, but that's it, in it. Yeah, there's not too much socializing there. Yeah. But we have some people that they have lived in London all their life, so moving is a headache. Moving is going to be a big problem for them. So then you have to shop around. Yeah. So that's the something little I would say today. That, yeah, if you are in London and it's too expensive for you, then you have a choice. Everybody has got a choice. You can either move to outside London, as far as your job is there as well. Yeah, if your job can transfer you there, yeah, then it's easier to move to outside London than living in London. London, too much crime as well. Too much crime. Every day you hear a different story. Every day you hear a different story. You understand what I mean? So that is how it is. So I'll leave you and take care.